Hello, hello. Good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining me today. We will continue from where we left yesterday, testing AEC Interactive, answering your questions, and working together. So if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. I hope you can hear me well. I still didn't do the sound test, but I believe you do. Let me know also in the chat if you don't. And let's get started. So maybe should I add lights? Nah, let's just get started. Lighting is good. Let me see. Yeah, it's fine. I was trying to do a test to put the chat here. Wait, this, yeah, next to me, but for some reason it's not working. So if we can test, just try to test and see if it's going to work. Where is, not this. Actually, it is working, but I don't know. Nice. Justine, hello Justine. Sig, hello. Maman, it's good to see you. All right, look at that, the chat is working. Now, I don't know how distracting it is, so we will figure that out later. But that's good to know. I'm trying to improve the quality of these streams as we go. I want to add some motion graphics in the near future, and who knows what else can we add. Now, something I wanted for, just to make it slightly more beautiful, is just to perhaps reduce the opacity. So let's try that. Something like this. Hey! Okay, now when I saw your picture, I remembered. Sikur, Maman, how are you? It's good to see you. Sandy Ban, hello, hello. Nice, guys, let's get started so you can hear me well. Now, before we get started, I just have a small announcement, okay? And that announcement, we got like 10 emails in the past 2 days on why the price changed, the price of the Unreal Engine course that we are doing for the blueprint to build your own custom systems. And technically it didn't, well, it did change, but we had this timer going on for about 2 months that it will go from 350 to 500. Now, I reduced it again just for 10 days for those who didn't see the price, because you are right, I almost have never done any marketing. I didn't tell anyone, I was just busy developing, so I think I'm going to take the next 10 days between development and slight marketing about the course. So if you are looking to learn Blueprint in Unreal Engine, these 10 days would be a nice 10 days to secure your spot, and after that the price will increase. And while we're at it, in terms of features for the future, 100% the touch inputs are confirmed. So one of you guys, my students, was very kind enough to get me a touch screen, so as a gift, and I was like, thank you, cannot say no to that. So touch screen inputs are 100% confirmed, and there are many more other features that you can take a look at. So that's the stream sponsor, us. And if you don't have time to learn, there is a link in the description where you can get the blueprints only, and we will have like their own dedicated lessons. But if you don't have 45 hours to learn Blueprint, and I highly recommend that you learn Blueprint, you just want what we are building here. Look at that, we're gonna fall now. Then the template will be also available next week. So with that being said, let's continue working on our project here, where we are testing the template, where we've been adding the surroundings and the amenities and whatnot. So we need to take care of this. Next, I want to work on the filter now for the units, and let's see any questions, any suggestions, any ideas you guys have, we can continue with these. Now there is something I want to do as well, is to add a timer just to remember to stretch. So let's set, I always use this clock from Unreal Engine, sorry, from Windows to remember to stretch every 25 minutes. Justine, my man, thank you. So we have 2 of my students. I'm glad to have you guys. And Google Sheets implementation. Yes, that's on the roadmap, SIG. So, you know, I should update the roadmap or make some sort of public roadmap. So you get excited. It's definitely on the list of my to-do list to do the Google Sheets implementation instead of the CSV files for the units. All right. So it's actually a really good idea. I should work on it ASAP, because now I need to create some sort of fake CSV file. But I want to try it soon without the plugin, because you remember I said in one of the group chats that we want to reduce the use of plugins as much as possible. So where is I'm trying to find it within the roadmap. So this is the internal roadmap with all the things I'm planning for the future. So it is somewhere around, yeah, Google Sheets integration under requests. We are definitely doing this SIG. So let's just raise it. And it's been requested a lot. Okay, let's put this on the side and let's get started. Where did you find the 3D shapes for the buildings? That's a nice question, Pierre. Hello Pierre, how are you doing? So the 3D shapes, in yesterday's stream, I spoke about how difficult it is to get such shapes from websites like CAD Mapper and whatnot. But there is beautiful feature in Twinmotion. So I really hate this when Twinmotion decides not to work. Let's verify the files real quick. But I used Twinmotion, and then I used Twinmotion Exporter to get the shapes of the 3D buildings. And I want to later change the environment to other buildings, because our building here looks so cute and small, so we need to take care of that. Actually, look at that. Twinmotion is running. So I will show you in a moment, Pierre, once Twinmotion opens. Okay, there we go. So when you open Twinmotion, so let's say you want to add 3D buildings to your Unreal Engine projects. What you want to do is to open Twinmotion, and in Twinmotion go to populate, and maybe we can delete the start base. So go again to populate, click on urban, and click on a location you like. So let's say we want to search for New York. Click, it will search, give it a second to load. These are slightly more than a second. I hope my internet isn't too bad. Okay, so that's a weird spot. So let's type again, New York. Show me Manhattan, Habibi. Here is Manhattan. And select a location. So don't zoom out too much. This will take some time. Still, though, you can do it. But if you zoom out way too much, you will get a warning. This takes so long. So it's so interesting that we can do this. Perhaps after stream, when I go to lunch, I should download this whole area. So let's zoom a little, like so. And let's say this is the area we want. For example, click on download and place. So give this few minutes to few seconds. It will download and place, and then we can test it quickly together to send it to Unreal Engine. There we go. Actually, this was very fast. So here we are. Here are the buildings. Okay. And if you're not happy, you can simply select context here, delete it, and go again to populate. And well, we need to search again. So I hope Twinmotion, if you are listening, keep us in the same location, please. We don't want to search every single time for the default location. So let's select, for example, this area here. Let's zoom a little, just a little, and click on download and place. This will download the assets, and it will separate all of them as well. This is really nice. It will generate roads, and if there are some trees, it will place some trees, and then you can export this to Unreal Engine. There we go. So here's another quick grab, and look here where we have parks and whatnot. It will automatically assign the material for you, the pavements, the street, the trees, and so on. So once you're happy with the context, whether you can continue working in Twinmotion, or you can go to, or once you finish working in Twinmotion, you can go to export to Datasmith file, standard, then select the location of your project. And here's the location of my project, the root folder of your Unreal Engine project. If you select anything else, it will tell you, no, sorry. So you must go to the root folder, and then let's say NYC test, and let's give it a number. Click on save, and this will take some time. And it's converting the objects now. That's great, because of the update of the sheet can be in the hands of the client this way. Thank you, teacher, you're great. Thank you too, man. And you're definitely right. This is actually a very good point you make. It will be in the hands of the clients, and they don't get back to you anymore. Unless, well, they will get back because you are awesome and you'll keep making amazing projects. But yes, giving them control will make them really feel happy. So that's a good point. Let's quickly make a level. Let's call it test, for example. And let's quickly import what we've just created. So here now, once your file from Twinmotion finishes exports the Datasmith file, go to Unreal Engine. You should have Datasmith already enabled if you're using the architectural template. If it's not, open plugins, search for Datasmith, click on Datasmith importer, and you will find Datasmith importer here. Click on file import and locate your root folder, your root project, or the root of your project. And to do that, you can either navigate to it or click your project here, right click, show in Explorer. Then you can copy the file here. Or if you have something called Listari, I love this Windows file addition. Basically, I just make this my active window and then click here again, and well, this time it decided not to work. Beautiful. Usually if they make that just my active window, it will work. Anyway, now let's select our file here, click open, and you can then import your file normally. So here I have something called test Datasmith. I will import that. I will set geometry, materials, and textures. Click OK. And that's it. So now in this level, let's quickly add some lights. Let's click on environment light mixer and add our environment. So there is one final tip. There will be some files that may not export and so on. And there will be files that will export, but you need to restart your engine. So here it says invalid light map settings. All you need to do in this case is to restart your engine. So press Ctrl Shift S to save everything first. And then close this. Let's close the engine and simply open it again like this, and we should be good. All right. Yeah, I'm glad you find it useful, Pierre. My pleasure, man. My pleasure. So maybe, okay. So here, let's open our level. We call it test. And there we go. It will assign the materials and everything will look fine. I should remember from where so here we have now LODs, level of detail stuff, and there are multiple LODs. So for that, I need to remember from where we were editing these, but I don't remember. It's been a long time, and for now I left them as they are. And by the way, I just wanted to open to make the chat lasts on the screen, and I realized you just subscribed, Pierre, so thank you so much, man. I thought you are one of us already, but it seems you're new, so welcome to the channel, man. Let me quickly set the chat to be permanento. Actually, this might be a good time to test some stream. No, I will leave it for later. And let's edit this, select this. Yeah, keep it like so for now. Click and save. Okay, so screen size, there we go. Under LOD 0, somewhere we have the screen size where we set the screen size for each LOD element. So that was the final thing we need to take care of. Let me also put the chat here so I can see it, so I don't do this. You started your adventure 5 months ago. Nice. Welcome to the gang, the real-time technology gang. Let's go. Justine, you said something time to leave D5 for my Go to visualization app and now use Twinmotion. Unreal Engine is insanely good. I completely agree, Justine. Now I need to try D5 to see what's up. It's been like a year and a half since my last test, but the Twinmotion Unreal Engine combination is extremely powerful. It's really good. And here, like in Twinmotion, we have also like the ability to do path tracing. We have Lumen. It's so good. And they have nice material library as well. So we were talking here, just the final thing for everyone who is watching. The screen size, let's remember that together. Let's go to LOD Picker, Advanced, no. Sections, no. Build settings. From here we can optimize our file, reduction settings. I think LOD settings. Let's go to This, no, don't import anything. Don't import, habibi. Number of LODs. I would set this to, yeah, keep it as it is. 4. Auto compute LOD distance. Don't. I thought it will show us some setting or something. So if we go to advanced, where was that setting? So asset, external source, navigation. Hey Jawbon, good day my man. Thank you, you too is awesome. You already follow, but you have business account and that's your personal. Thank you. Follow me from all your accounts. I appreciate it. Okay, where was the screen size setting? Why it's grayed out? LOD 0. Ah, okay. Sir, you are grayed out here. Maybe if we will take more time with this, I'm going to do it off screen. Can set the LOD to foliage. Do that also off screen. Okay, okay, there we go. If we disable auto compute LOD distance, this now will be set to 1. It will not be grayed out basically. So that's part of the problem. So here you can see current screen size, okay? And I'm just making sure that you guys can see. Let me do this. Here we go. So the setting I was just talking about is called auto compute LOD distance. I hope you can see it. And here we have the screen size. Now we can set it to 1. So let's set it to 3, for example. I remember we used to set this individually on every LOD. And I remember the last time I did this maybe 5 years ago. What if we set this to 0.5? Let's set it to 0.1. Okay. Okay. So this now is affecting LOD 0. If we set this to 0.3, current screen size is 0.7, 0.5. If I go now below 0.3, it should switch. But it didn't switch for some reason. And we are immediately switching to LOD 3. Because we need to set LOD 1, 2, 3, and 4. And where were they? So let's click. There used to be a place for every LOD. Ah, okay. LOD picker. Okay. Let's say here LOD 0 set at 0.3. Let's say LOD 1 set at 0.2, for example. LOD 2 set at 0.1. And LOD 3, the final one, put it for 0.05. And now let's set LOD auto. All right, perfect, perfect. That's how it works. So first you need to switch each LOD. So LOD 0, set its setting for you. Then set LOD 1 and set its own setting for, it can be, the screen size must be smaller. Then LOD 2 and so on and so on. And then the final one you can set it to very small amount, and that's it. Now that's assuming you want to keep the LODs. If you want to use nanite, that's a completely different story. However, now I'm using 5.4. I'd like to use nanite, but in 5.6 And that will be in the future once I finish development of AEC Interactive. Jawbone. AEC, since now I'm planning on doing the touch screen inputs for the template, pixel streaming is also part of the plan, but it will not be with Amazon or AWS. I want to speak to some pixel streaming providers, see who's the best, who can give us some discounts, and who is truly the best. And then I will recommend the pixel streaming providers. So it will be, I believe, iframe, not 3JS, but I need to speak to the providers, see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and take it from there. And the pre-launch price is now set at $150. It's available on the Gumroad. And in future, it will be also on Fab, but I don't know when it will be on Fab. So now it's Gumroad, and I will see if I can push it to Fab. But once I push it to Fab, it will be the final price, and I still don't know what that will be, but it will be definitely more. Now, I will save this map for later because I actually like it. Or let's bring our building here, the wood up building, click on the Datasmith file. I love Datasmith because you can bring the file and drop it in your level like this. And you know what? I like this level much more than our previous level. This here makes our building believable because the other level, the buildings were too long, too large. So here, this is actually nice. All we need to do now is to select a plot. Let's say this place here. Rotate it 10 degrees. But I will take care of this part later. Now we're gonna go back to our other level and simply take care of what we need to take care of. So I think we'll do something like this. This will be fine. Maybe make these areas slightly larger, but yeah. Thank you for the question earlier, Pierre. I think this is a lovely area. Okay, let's open our level. And let me also, while I do that, send you a link. Thumbnail Studio. No, we need the demonstration level. Okay. Let me take a note. I just want to take a note. I always have my notebook next to me. I like taking notes. I got an idea for a lesson for YouTube. And now let's continue. So, yesterday we were doing some point of interest. For the amenities, let's copy this. And let's say good clothes. I need to come up with slightly better names and icons. Actually, instead of good clothes, let's call this something like library. Peter, I missed the special price by 1 day. Is there a possibility of special discount for today? I wish I had seen it earlier. I want to make my coworkers use the Unreal Engine and work on your template. Well, Peter, of course. You know, this is on me because for the past 2 months, not only 2 months, but for the past 7 months, I barely did any marketing. I only did 2 devlogs so far and maybe 4 live streams, and that was it. I learned something is to fully focus on one thing at a time. So today's stream, I started exactly with this. We got about 10 emails for people like you who missed the special price, and I completely understand because I almost never announced on it. So we brought back the old price just for 10 days. And in the upcoming 10 days, I will do my best to focus on marketing and telling people, hey, there is this course, there is this price. So if you get the course, you will also get the template. So yeah, I hope this makes you happy, Peter. And thank you so much for your interest in the course. So now you didn't miss it. It's back. Let's go, let's go. So here, let's place this here. And let's, yeah, that's it. That's fine. Maybe we can edit the arm length a little. Keep it actually, but I want slight rotation. I like the side, let's say. And this is another shop, right? Yes, it is. So what I'm doing here, I am testing the template that I've built so far. And I'm looking for feedback from you guys, ideas and whatnot to add this to the roadmap. And maybe, who knows, we might catch some bugs or think about some live improvements, quality of life improvements. So now if we click on amenities, one of the things or the options I'd like to add, I was thinking about this today as I was taking a walk, is in the first floor, if we use the commercial areas like this, and we have many commercial places next to each other, and that might make the icons very close to each other if we go far. So I need to figure out a way to set their scale nicely, because I want to avoid, my goal is to create the best architectural experiences with the best quality of life, the best user experience, and so on. So there is a lot to do, and that's why it took 7 months so far. Holy wow, the 25 timer finished already. Someone, guys, need to talk to time to tell it to slow down a little. Peter, it's a pleasure to have you with the students group. Welcome. And there are even more good news coming on the way, slowly. So let's call this, give it a nice purple. I like purple. Let's go with purple. And this is here definitely not a school. We said that's a library, but here what do we have? So I need to find a graphic designer to make me big list of icons. That's definitely on the future roadmap. Let's call this a pharmacy. Okay? Pharmacy. Okay. And let's get another duplicate. So this area here, this is a smaller shop. Let's select these elements, isolate our selection. And let's set another 25 minutes timer. And let's select our asset here, the point of interest. And so in addition to testing the template, this is also a project that will be attached to the template for anyone who wants to learn Unreal Engine and learn more about exterior visualizations or how the template works. So we definitely need a level with the template, and that's what we're doing here today. Let's call this place the nice cafe. Coffee, cafe. Maybe when you zoom out, it converts into a call to action sign, a line connected to the space on an angle, and then the text of the icon. let me understand slightly, Sig. So maybe when we zoom out, it converts into a call out sign. A line connected to the space on the angle and then the text of the icon. So it would be like more minimal, or it would be surrounding. It would be like, if I get you right, so let's say when we zoom out more, we would have something like this. Like let's say this point and then something like this. Did I understand you correctly, Sig? My initial thought was when we zoom out more, we just keep the icon. That was one initial thought. Now, some of these settings can also be easily adjusted if we set the widget setting here. We have the visibility, the minimum distance, and the maximum distance. This will affect the translucency and the scale of the icon. And we have the height offset. That's different. Yes. Yeah, I like this idea. I will look into it. And what I want to do in the real near future, I think once we finish marketing, because I barely did any marketing, is to look into all the features and ideas we have and then decide what is important, what is the quality of life, what's the future improvement, and so on. So take it step by step and work with the critical elements. But yeah, I like this. And for anything we want to do, there are always many methods to do it. So we can also have discussions on how best we can do it. But that's a good first suggestion. Now, I also don't want you to forget that there was for each element of these secondary text. So when we zoom out, we want them to take care of the main title and the secondary text. That's important. So here you find, let's try it for example, nice books. So let's save this, click on play, and let's try this. So when we add a secondary text like so, it will make this much bigger in general, which is nice. But again, if we zoom out, we want to tackle how much we zoom out. And you know, I just got an idea. I want to like, in the editor mode, to have, let me demonstrate. And I need to take a picture. When we set the scale and the settings, I want like for each point to have something like around it. If you know, like if you go from here to here, you see it. But if you start going out more, it will scale down or some things will happen. So we need something visual to set the settings, because now the settings look like this and they are in units. I was trying yesterday to change these to meters or feet, but there were some bugs, I don't know why, in the engine. So maybe something visual for each point of interest will help, like cylinder, outline. Let me add that to the ideas. And let's see how we can take care of it. All right, Justine, I also have a question. Is it possible to create different shapes of the point of interest box aside from the rectangle completely in Unreal? Yes, of course. You are talking about this box, right? So this is the default shape we have. And once you place the point of interest, here we have ability to add a custom mesh, and you have a trigger boolean for it. So if you don't set it, it will revert to a box. And from here you can set a custom mesh that you prefer. And that custom mesh, basically you can go to the modeling mode and you can go to mesh. No, you go to create and you click on extrude path and you track the path you want to create, like so. And then you can assign that 3D object. In this case, this is one of the 3D objects that we made yesterday, and you can add this as a custom mesh. And I thought this is really important because when we have point of interests for the houses, that will be important. So let's take care of this area. Let's add some point of interest for the houses from here. So I'm going to hide some elements, and let's click on the blueprints, base blueprints, point of interest system, and by houses I mean units. Let's rotate this by 10 degrees. Yeah, man, we got it. All is good. So in this area, this is one house, right? The sun is slightly confusing me. Here, this house, one room. This is the another room. This is for the fixing stuff or utilities in the building, utilities room. And oops, let's press Ctrl Z. And this is the second house. Okay, now I get it. So this is here the second house or apartment, which is smaller. And if you take a look like this, when Sugun, wow, thank you so much for the super chat. Here I can give a like, favorite, nice. Thank you, man. When we sign up for the class, do we get to learn how to use Cesium? Actually, I'm very glad you asked. So the first question is, or the first answer, one of my students who signed up last week, I mentioned that Cesium is covered in my old course, but if you have any questions about Cesium, go ahead and I'm more than happy to help. That's one. And two, I literally here have on my notes, I have many notes of these, let me find it, but I'm planning new Cesium lessons. So we can give this priority for sure. And for the AEC Interactive, that's for sure, like having first a 3D environment is a beginning, and then complete the context, like I want more of the world, so we are definitely going to use Cesium on the sample projects. Now I will leave Cesium optional because I have some students who don't want to enable Cesium on their project, but the answer is yes. We will learn how to use Cesium. Now, for most students, there are sometimes things in the roadmap. If there are questions that I cannot cover now, we have a WhatsApp group where you can ask your question, and usually I give the way on how to do it. So the answer is yes. Now, it depends on if there is something specific on top of your mind regarding Cesium, because Cesium, in a way, is not very complex. If you're talking about how we can geolocate our projects and whatnot, yeah, of course. And thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I never seen this in a year. Cheers, man. Actually, I was also thinking about reaching out again to Cesium, and I want to tell them I have some ideas because they recently opened their grant application, and Cesium for me is such a life savior. How we can import it in our projects or place it in our projects and then have the whole world around us. So I'm definitely going also to reach out to them. So 100% we will have more Cesium content on the channel and for the students who sign up. Now I need to talk to my friends, or no, this is just me. Yeah, wait, this is just me. I thought this house is connected. It is connected. Yeah, I need to talk with my friends about any architectural errors here, but for now, let's ignore it. And let's call this example. And then let's make a duplicate and let's call this data unit data wood up, the name of the project. And let's open it. And let's see. So I don't know how many apartments in this building yet. I need to count them. And can I also view it quickly in 3ds Max? Yes, we can. Sometimes the best way to select something is to select something, then deselect it, then select what you want to select, and that's it. Let's go to the clay view, and so we have 2 commercial floors, or do we have less? Let's isolate our selection. This is not a commercial floor. We have just 1 commercial floor and the rest are apartments. They are units. So that's information number 1. And number 2, we have this unit on the right corner, and wait, I got confused. This is my bad. I thought it's my friend bad, but no, this is on me. This here should be smaller. So let's do this. And we are good. So let's say 14, 13.5. And let's see. Yeah, now we're good. Now we can make another duplicate of this unit. And you know, it would be nice, now is a nice time to select, to, you know, in Unreal Engine, whenever you're working with your projects, the rule of thumb you want to have in your mind when you are organizing your project, when you press Shift and click on the main level on the tab to collapse everything, and click here again, everything should be in a folder. The moment you see stuff like this, it means, okay, these guys needs to be organized. So what I do in such scenario is to select the similar actors, copy its name. So let's say POI surroundings, copy this and paste it here. Then POI amenities, copy the name, paste it. And now we have POI units, copy and paste, and Control V and paste, well, click and drag. Then we have a clipping plane and the manager, these goes to the systems. Now here we can make another folder, call it pawns, select the drone, Cooper, and the top down view, add these here. And the clipping plane, Sugun, if you are still here, can you tell me more what's on your mind regarding Cesium? Like, what are you looking to learn? That will give me better idea and we can keep the conversation going about Cesium. Because I was planning lessons for the channel, Cesium lessons, and I want some ideas. So, extrude here is the old mesh we made earlier. Justine, this is the question you asked. Can we have custom meshes for our points of interest? And the answer is yes. Yes, so we can. And here we have this apartment, and this is here a third apartment. So we have 3 apartments from this side. We spoke about this. If you hold Alt Control and click and drag the mouse, you can select many actors. And you can always hide the actors you select. This will make working in the engine slightly easier. Sometimes to make sure I've selected what I've selected, I hold Control and I click the right and left mouse button together like this to move things around, to say, okay, this is what I want to select, or no, I've selected this by mistake, for example. I press Ctrl Z and then deselect this. Can I deselect you? Thank you. And then I would hide my selection. All right. So now we can move this here to have another point. Ah, nice, you're still here. You would like to be able to use Cesium for urban planning and geolocating your projects to their real-world locations. That's nice. And in terms of BIM applications, do you use Revit as your main tool, or what tools do you use? We are definitely going to do that, geolocating our projects. I mean, every architectural project needs the ability to be geolocated. Revit and Cesium collaborated to create a very super nice, handy, you use ArchiCAD. It's still possible then in this scenario, I was talking about Revit, they have an add-in where you can geolocate things in Revit. Now I'm glad you are the first person now I see who use ArchiCAD from the community. So we can definitely talk about it. And then in that scenario, we can use Cesium Ion. And I need to check if Cesium are supporting ArchiCAD or no. And if they have any features for it. Something like Revit. I heard ArchiCAD is extremely easy to use. Would you recommend learning ArchiCAD if I want to quickly learn how to use a CAD tool? So this year I started learning 2 things. I'm reading books on programming and I'm reading books on architecture. These are the 2 things I'm honing my skills at so I can do better Unreal projects. And I've always been fascinated with architecture. Sooner than later, I would like to start doing some concepts instead of borrowing ideas from ArchDaily and visualize these concepts in Unreal Engine. So here, let's copy this as well. Now, this is maybe a place just for fun. We can create its own POI, mesh, Justine. So let's take a look together again. Let's do it. So I'm going to press Shift 5 to go to the modeling mode. And let's go to create extrude polygon. And this might be important for anyone working on your architectural projects if you're placing things or you want to draw some meshes. When you go to polygon extrude, we have a grid that's located in the center of our world. And I think the shortcut for that was Control click. Yes, Control click, and that will get the grid to the point you click on. So we can click and draw on this specific floor, not on the 0 axis in terms of the Z height. So now I can go to slightly tabish view like this, hold middle mouse button to move around, and let's draw a basic shape. If you make some mistakes, you can always press Ctrl Z and you can track the shape you want. Maybe we can extend it slightly outside the walls area here. So let's press Ctrl Z again, do this, and go all the way to the right. Do this and do this and set the height something like this. That's nice. Let's complete. So yes, for you, you think it's easier than Revit. I definitely need to check it out, mess around, and it's always nice to see fellow architects using different tools. Justine, with the current system of the POI, is it possible to create a perimeter circle that appears when I click on the main point of interest of the building, displaying a set of radius around it? That's a nice idea. And let me open Trello. Did I have something like that in the past? In my roadmap. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a screenshot and I'll put it under ideas. Did we? Let's upload that image. And this image for some reason didn't get uploaded. So let's paste it here. I remember I had this idea from one of Mr. Bro, if you know him, from our WhatsApp group. And it was on my mind, but I think I never put it on the board. So thank you for the reminder. It's definitely possible. Something like this, Justine, right? Like the walking perimeter, 5 minute, 10 minute. Can do. Okay, so now this area here, does it have a custom mesh? I think the unit POIs does not have custom mesh. However, no worries. We can borrow a part of our... Here's another 25 minutes. Guys, if you can just give me 1 minute to do this, to stretch. I've been sitting now for 50 minutes. Drink some water. Yeah, Justine, I've added this now to our roadmap. And we'll definitely take care of it in the future. So I don't know why the other image is not uploading. We can take care of that later, no worries. Because this is also similar, we can do it. So I wonder, where are you guys watching from? I know anyone who's new here, say hello, tell us where are you watching from, what time it is. Hello, Douglas. Yes, we can. The audio of the music, right? Let's take care of that. I hope now it's fixed. No worries. So here let's add a comment, set custom mesh. But before I continue my other 25 minutes, I just need to bring cold water. So if you guys give me a minute, I will be back in less than a minute. So cheers, Douglas. No worries, man. Be right back. But yeah, 25 will be perfect. 25 minutes would be perfect. Hello, hello. Your boy is back. So what we need to do is to yoink this code, and we want to go to the unit construction script, and we can simply paste it. Now I'd like to keep everything as close as possible, so the POI mesh settings, let's see, where do we have the mesh settings? We have them here. So let's place this here in this scenario and connect this, and let's set this to create a variable of this, and let's compile and save, and let's create a variable of this too. Now let's compile and save. Let's make both into public variables, and these here, for continuity, I like to have them in the same group. So here we have custom mesh. I'm going to copy this category name, and I will select this boolean, because for those who might be new to Blueprint, when you add items to your Blueprint, let's say this, everything will be under default until you set their categories. So here, under default of this section here, so did we make this into custom? Yes, we did. Set custom mesh and custom 3D mesh are now mixed with other settings, and I don't want that. I want for these to be their own settings. So if you go to category and write custom mesh, here now we have custom mesh, select this and drag it. That's another way. Now if you compile and save, here we have a custom mesh on all of our blueprints. So I'm going to move this here to the side, and I'm going to bring this back, and I will click on enable custom mesh, and I will press Ctrl B to locate this custom mesh. And here's a trick, I can talk about it in a second. Let's assign this here, and this is slightly bigger than what we want because we change the POI mesh scale. So this needs to be 111. So the trick is a very stupid small trick, but sometimes you may want to select something like so, press Ctrl B to locate it, and then select the thing you had selected earlier. In this scenario, it was this, it's very easy to select, but if I set this like so and click here, if I want to select this, it will be hard to select it. So I press Ctrl Z to undo my selection, and now it's selected. And now I can assign my mesh like this. Very nice. Jacob, hello ma'am. What's the best way to implement such a project created in Unreal Engine 5 onto a website? So there are multiple streaming companies. So the best way, you want to Google the following. You want to Google pixel streaming. And the best way to implement such projects, you have two methods. The first method is more expensive, but it's more interactive, where we pixel stream the project. And by pixel streaming, imagine a virtual machine, a virtual computer, or a computer, basically, where you have it on the cloud, and you open the Unreal Engine project on that computer, and then it will stream what we see as a video input, but that video we can control, basically, with the mouse and keyboard, or touch screen, or a controller. So that's what we call pixel streaming. And that's basically the best way. The other method is the good old web design, where you finish designing a project and then you take thousands of screenshots and upload these screenshots to a website and set the functionality on that website. But now when we are talking about this, we are not talking about Unreal Engine anymore. Unreal Engine is just a rendering tool at that point. So if you want the best, it's pixel streaming. Now there are so many companies who are doing this, and for me, it's hard for me to recommend any company because I need to test their products. So it's been a long time since I did pixel streaming, and the last solution we did was about 2 years ago, and we worked directly with AWS services. But that was extremely hard to set up. So there are companies that you can search for, and a couple I know that you can start with. One is called Arkware. So I heard they are really good, Arkware, and there are many other companies. So don't take my cookies, please. So Arkware is one of the companies I heard about. You can reach out to them, and I think they provide free trial. So you can see for yourself if this is a good option or no. And there are other companies in the space. If you search just pixel streaming, you will see many companies in the space. But I know Arkware that they have their own infrastructure. So 90% or 95% of pixel streaming companies are basically renting from AWS, Amazon. They are renting virtual machines. But as far as I know, I spoke to their CEO like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they have their own infrastructure. But their infrastructure is located in Germany, and I think they expanded to some other cities. I'm not sure, because my information is old. I was talking about this actually like 40-50 minutes ago, that for the course, I want to speak to the companies again and see who are providing the best services, so I can recommend them to my students and to the community, and we will see how it goes. So Arkware is on my radar, and I also see, so here, if we go pixel streaming, if you have experience with AWS, you can definitely set up your own Amazon farm. So here I quickly search for pixel streaming. You can see we have ads. I heard about Vagoon, but I never tested them. But they are famous in the Archviz Explorer, because they sponsor Archviz Explorer. And this has nothing to do with pixel streaming. So Vagoon, Arkware, Eyebrows, I think. No, this is a channel. Stream Pixel. There is a lot. So many companies. So that's the best way. And you pay per minute or per hour. It depends on the company and how they charge. Yeah. Now, let me open the chat again. Do you also cover the topic of subsequent project presentation in the course? I actually need to understand the subsequent project presentation. As a start, I need to translate subsequent. Can you give me an example of what is a subsequent presentation, Jacob? I cannot say yes or no to your question or give you an answer until I really understand it. To be honest, I didn't fully understand the question. Is it like presentations with minimal inputs or what exactly? And the answer, if it can be done with Blueprint, then yes, but I need to understand slightly more. So here, because we did draw the shape manually, we don't need to rotate it. That's good to know. And we can delete this shape. And let's make a copy of this to place it here. And let's select these elements and place them here. Okay. So this here we have multiple. So now we need to work a little bit on the data table. But as a start, let's assign this data table. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have 13. 14, 15, 16, 17. So this is the 17th floor. Let's delete everything. I will definitely do this off stream. I don't want to bore you to death. And we can always move things around, right? Yes, we can. Very nice. So before I continue, I'd like to talk a little bit about the course. Let's bring it. And I will place a link in the chat for anyone who's interested in checking this out. Now, I have been working on this for the past 7 months. More actually, but 7 months is easy to remember. Researching Blueprint, looking at architectural experiences on YouTube, on websites like CG Architect and their awards. And I've been like into this for many years, visualizing unbuilt architecture. And for me, I want to create a solution, a set of templates that we can import into our architectural projects and bring these projects to life by making them interactive as fast as possible. And my goal from here is to do 2 things. First, to create a course that teaches Blueprint from knowing nothing about Blueprint to be able to learn Blueprint, but not only learn Blueprint, but to create at least these features you see here. So these are different systems and features in the engine. And the goal of these features is to teach you Blueprint from many angles. And there is, of course, many updates for the future. But my goal is to get you to a level where you can make your own systems, where you can build on top of what we learned and make things that are unique to what we did. So that's one of the goals of the course. The second goal, which is also very important, is to bring any project to life by making that project interactive. So there is the course, and something I almost never did in the past 7 months is marketing for the course. I only did 2 devlogs and a couple of live streams, and that's it. But For the next 10 days, the price will change, and for the next 10 days, I will slightly do better in terms of marketing and telling, hey, we are making this. So if you want to get the course and the template at their current price, you can do that. Now is your time. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can talk to me here on the stream, or you can talk to us on the live chat, or you can send us an email, and we are more than happy to answer any question you have. So let's say you don't have time to learn and you want your own solutions for the future. So let me quickly open this page, which is so let's say you don't have time to learn Blueprint, to study it. After all this work, I think I reached a point where we can sell the template on individually on its own. So that is now in the pre-order phase. We'll release it next week. What we're doing here today, I'm preparing this map and the other features. And the reason Gumroad not Fab yet is because I have a lot to do. So Fab is in the future, but Gumroad is also one of my favorite platforms for digital products. You can also check it out on Gumroad. If you don't have time to learn, if you want just click and drag and drop to make your project interactive. Okay, so now I'm done. That's the sponsored segment. Let's read your questions and let's keep going. So, thank you for the answer. My pleasure, Jacob. Does the course cover how to deliver project in Unreal Engine to a client, how to familiarize the client with the final product, which is a virtual tour? Okay. Yes, if we were talking, so I have a free course where we talk about packaging projects. So if you're talking about how we can package the project, yes, we will take care of that. Now, this project that I'm working on here, we will record a lesson in the future on how we can package this. And there will be lessons where we explain the buttons we have and how we can work with the user experience. So if you're talking about the user experience part of things, one of the goals I'm doing, or one of the things I'm doing, is to make that user experience self-explanatory as much as possible. I have always in my head, it would be nice to have some sort of tutorial as well. So I never thought about the tutorial much until I finish, like get to version 1.0. Now, something I have been doing for the past 10 years with our studio, so is explaining to clients how they can use their projects, how they can work on their projects, and in general, the user journey. And that was especially challenging and interesting to do for virtual reality projects. So yes, if that's an answer. Now that will be also in a way, like we will explain to you how you can explain in the best ways possible to your clients, if that makes sense. Now, how can we make a final packaged project? That's definitely included in the course. And we have multiple case studies that we are working on. There is a villa and there is this new project. We will package both. And soon in the near future, I'd love for for potential students, potential clients to download both and explore the result of the course and also what's possible in Unreal Engine. So that's on the roadmap. So yeah, Jacob, the short answer is yes. The long answer, we need to talk about it and have discussions about it and keep the conversation going. Sigon, when does the course start? The course already started, Sigon. It was in early access for students who get it in the past 7 months. So there are students who joined from 7 months ago, and every month we have more students. And the way it's made, there are chapters, and we start from creating the pawns and how we explore our projects. And then the next system we build is the teleportation system and few other systems. And then we talk about the user interface and so on. So let me actually open the platform to show you a little bit what I mean. Just quickly, okay. So when you join in, you will see all the lessons here on the left. We have everything sectioned. At the start, you will see also version 4, 5, and so on for the template. And now I'm working on version 0.6. And then you will see the foundation. We start from the very basics of Blueprint. Then we create the pawns, the view modes, and so on and so on and so on. So there are many sections. There is about 21 sections. And we already started. And there are more sections. I would say now the course is finished. Look at this, 22 sections. This was the most complex section I've recorded in terms of the Blueprint course production, making mini maps. And there will be now future updates. There is now the touch controls. I will start researching and development on this perhaps in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And there are a few other things like quality of life improvements and any things that I'm doing to get to version 1.0 of the template. So it already started and you can start watching and learning today. Abu Bakr Abdul, hello man, how are you? It's nice to see you, Abu Bakr. Hope you're having a good week and you had a lovely productive week and life is good. All right, so now we were working on this template. Let's select all the POIs and assign that data table. And let's open the data table. So, Sugun, there is, let me double check. An automations is supposed to happen. So after the stream, I will check out, but the access will be on the, you should get an email inviting you to our learning platform on VR Division Academy. If my automation worked as intended, but no, I got an error. And after the stream, I will try to fix that for you. Apologies about that. So we will send you an email about this in the next, after I finish the stream. So now I have my timer, 6 minutes left. I need to go eat some foods and we will invite you to the academy. And welcome. Thank you for joining, Sugun. So if you give me 15 minutes, we will fix that for you. And I'm happy to have you. Okay. So before we wrap up, let's at least finish the data table. So here, let's start one by one. The listing ID, we can give it a random color later. This is floor 17. The total area, let's give it a fake number for now. The market value, let's give it another fake number. Bedroom, I think we have like 2 bedrooms. So let's say we have 2 bedrooms. Let's say we have 1 bathroom. And let's say it's available. And for the direction orientation, if we take a look, it's opposite to the north. So that I will take care of that later. Let's say south. And the row name, let's say this will be, let's start from 60, for example. So here, if I set the row name to 60, it will make it available and the other features. So now if we click on play and click on the surrounding, no, the filter search, Now that's good. So here minimum and maximum. That's good, that's good. So the POI manager, no. We need an easy way to update the data table as well on the filter search. So let's go to the POI and let's open our widget. Let's open the filter search panel and let's see our data table. Is here. So if we switch it, we should be good. There we go. That's our data table. Now I think I need to edit the collision of the building, so let me quickly see what's happening. If you type in the console command show collision, we get this. So let's make this slightly bigger. Sorry. .2. And let's click on play. And let's click on filter search. All right. Here we have the listing ID, the floor number, the total area, the market value, the bedroom, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, and so on. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. If we add additional description, so let's go to the unit. Description goes here, line 1, it's floor 17. Let's save. And let's click on filter search. Okay. Unit main title. This goes here as well. Let's say 17. Click on play. Filter search. Nice. I will take care of the rest of the apartments later, so we can have nice number of units that are showing and prepare the template for the upload. So now, if there are any questions, guys, in the chat, let me know before we stop the stream. Every day I'm doing my best to either make videos, record videos, or to go live. And here is our last 25 minutes for today. And Sugun, again, thank you for joining. I will take care of your access to the learning platform after the stream. And everyone also who joined, I see actually many people joined. Thank you so much, everyone who joined. We'll take care of you all. And yeah, so any questions, guys, before we wrap up for today? Looks like we're good. All right then. As always, thank you so much for joining in. There are so many cool videos that are coming soon to YouTube. Keep an eye on that. And I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I personally did. So I have many things to do. I'm going to get some food, go to the gym, and we'll continue developing. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next stream and in the videos. As always, stay hydrated, keep drinking water or coffee. They're both good. Have a lovely weekend, because today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. It's a good day to go to the sea, to see some friends, try to enjoy yourself, to take some rest, because next week is gonna be big. Alright then. Again, Sugun, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining. You actually made me happy. So it's always lovely to have new people joining the course, the class, the training program. I don't like to call it course, but it's just the fastest. It's a big, big training program. And I hope you will love it. I hope you're going to learn a lot. You will also get an invite to our WhatsApp group where you can ask questions, interact with other students. It's a pretty active group. And it's the support group as well. So with all this being said, thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for watching, and have a lovely evening, rest of the day, morning, depending on where you are. And I will see you soon. Take care.